In a me bed, I wanna kiss you, girl, and hold it tight. In a me bed, I'm only dreaming, but I love for you. Thinking about the kind of things that I like to do. I know what I'm loving, hugging, kissing. In all the night time, loving, hugging, kissing. In all the day.
Not because you're smelling sweet, you can come and advantage me. Not because you had the face or the way, you can come and wind up in my face. Just look me in my eye when I wind up. Put your hands in my eyes, can see ya. Look me in my eye when I wind up. Put your hands in my eyes, can see ya. You feel you are the lyrical master. When I have a wind up and give you some flavor. Not because you have a general degree, you can win all odds over me. The music sounding sweet, I want you to wind to the beat. I want you to feel the emotions. Maybe I show some attention.
This is 1, 2, 3, listen to me. I tell you that you are the one, the only. I want pretty face to shine like the sun. Here like you.
Good morning, TNT, and welcome back to PSA TV. This is Ion Labor segment. I want to welcome Mr. Rocky here in studio with us this morning. How are you, Rocky?
Good morning. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Thanks for having me here. To everybody who's out on PSA TV Live, Trinidad and Tobago, good morning. I'm so happy to be here, graced by this beautiful lady, Miss Avalon Williams. It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Your voice. Your voice. Your voice.
That's
amazing.
It's probably a little deeper because, that's the early morning wake-up voice.
Rocky, could I just get like one line just without the music from you? Just
the
one
brother
line.
called, just come, I'll be waiting. Here in my bedroom, anticipating. I'm rubbing up her body to body tonight. In my bed, I wanna kiss you, girl, and hold it tight. In my bed, I'm only dreaming, but I long for you. Thinking about the kind of things that I like to do. Other one loving, hugging, kissing. In the night time, loving, hugging, kissing. In the day, come.
It is so amazing. Your voice. Your voice
Thanks,
is really,
thanks.
really
I
nice.
have some different sides to my voice, so hopefully with some music that you're gonna hear, you will hear a different side of me as well. Because people thought I was a chanter when we first released Look My Mind, but it's just that it's how the sound mesh together with Gaylan.
It's really nice. I know there are some people probably do not know who is Rocky. If you can just give them a little update, just a little briefing, with some of your background history.
Right. So I was born in San Fernando, so I'm originally from South. So big up everybody from South, San Fernando. That's where I'm from originally.
Okay.
Born in General Hospital.
The famous hospital.
Yeah. Just a little bit, I grew up in church. I had a wonderful grandmother who set that foundation of that spiritual vibe within me. I was born and baptized in the, reborn and baptized in the Seventh-day Adventist, so I had that background of music. So I used to sing in church, that type of thing. And then eventually, I wouldn't say I backslided, but that's the word that people use. I just drifted a little bit, got involved in music a little bit. Actually, before, because I don't usually tell this story because not much people ask, and I really never used to relay this information too much earlier in my career. But how I got my first break in music, I actually wanted to get into traffic, right? As a singer, as a frontline singer. But it so happened that there was this band that was heading to Asia, and the situation with traffic really didn't work out. Thank God, in a sense, no disrespect to Traffic, because I really had loved that band. But it's just that Asia, the opportunity to go Asia totally changed my life, because the kind of experience that I had there for more than 10 to 15 years of traveling back and forth in hotel resorts. I went to places, planting the seed of soca, and in places like Brunei, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Japan.
You've traveled all over.
Yes, I did.
At what age you started?
I got my break really got my break with the band, actually, when I went to Asia. Never left the country before, to be honest, only going to Tobago. So my first time flying international was down in Asia, and I was 24 at the time.
Okay, what was your career before music then?
Actually, I just worked. I came out of school, I did different jobs. I worked at Algico as an insurance agent. I used to work at FedChem. Well, back then now it's Hydro Agri, I believe, if the name hasn't changed then. I did a lot of work in Point-a-Pay. So yeah, so I always like to earn my own money. So I was very independent for a long time.
Rocky, what is your career now? Have you like sort of cut down on music, or you kept coming back? And I know you released a new song as well.
Right.
We're gonna bring that on
Well,
shortly,
right
but-
now I'm involved in Mars. My girlfriend and myself has a section going on in 7 years. We do it as a business,
Okay.
as well as we do.
What is the name of the Mars band?
Well, actually, we're involved in Tribe. We have a section in Tribe for, and that pays the
So you've
bills.
been
And
doing that every
yeah, well, before we got involved in Tribe, we had a carnival band called Spice.
Okay.
And that was our personal band, and we had that band for 5 years. Before that, my first taste in, I would say, mass, because I was one of the first entertainers at that time who I believe dabbled in within a section,
Okay.
and then a lot of people followed after. That was in 2001 with Barbarossa.
Oh, that's
Big up to everybody from Barbarossa.
Does that band still exist? Barbarossa?
No, they don't.
Okay.
But I believe, I can't remember the name, but I think somehow Penny and they kind of reinvented themselves a little bit, and they launched a new band recently. Have a young committee, but I think they're behind the scenes.
Okay.
Mr. Richard Afon and Miss Penny is involved somehow, which is important because they have a lot of experience.
Right.
And of course, it's a different time we live in, so I'm sure they have a younger committee front end. I think it was Harem or something like that,
Okay.
but I know they're involved there. But they were good to me. Big up to the Barbarossa family, because
That's nice.
I got my first break there in 2001, had a private section, stayed with them for 3 years. After that, I transited to Poison for another 3 years. I did a lot of events here and in New York as well. So I always wasn't an artist who just remained an artist.
Right.
I became a businessman as well. I had a hair salon, a kids' clothing store.
That's nice.
Yeah,
So you do a lot of traveling as well?
yeah, back then.
Okay.
Back then, I used to only be in Trinidad for about 2-3 weeks when I was living in Asia, because I based more in New York at the time. So a lot of people thought I was American.
I myself, I thought you were American as well when we
People
spoke on
to
the
this
phone.
day, still who don't see me for years, would be like, "Ah, when you came back?" And I'm like, "No, I live in here. I live in Marvel."
I was kind of confused when I was talking to you and I heard your voice. I thought it was Ghetto Flex at one time, because you all have the same type of voice.
Yeah, we
I
do.
mean, I know
we
you all
do.
collaborated
His
well
own is way
before.
bigger than mine, so, but yeah, but that's my boy. That's my boy. We are friends, so somehow we rub off on each other from time
Yes.
over the years.
What would you say was your most memorable time in the music business?
Ooh, most memorable time. I would have to say hearing your music play on the radio for the very first time. There's nothing can compare to that. Yes, performing, because actually before I released, and I told much from that because
Right.
at the end of the day, nobody knew that I went to Asia and was doing music. We were doing cover songs, so we didn't go as a soca band. We went as a band from the Caribbean doing cover songs. So we did reggae, we did hip hop, we did R&B. So we just did all popular, because in Asia, Asians love cover music, and up to now they were still singing some old school music that people discard, but they love it and they will request it. But when we were there, we got the opportunity to plant soca in their memories, and got people to learn to whine, and people in Thailand who barely speak English and stuff were requesting songs like Soki Soki and all that kind of thing.
I
So
remember that.
you know what I mean? So that was good. So, but coming to Trinidad to be validated, I guess, as an artist, but this is where I'm from. And I haven't had a soca recording until 1999 when I came to Trinidad. I was at Crosby Music Launch. I met with Gaylan just by random. I was just talking to a couple of people backstage. And I met her and Onika. May she rest in peace. She was a good friend as well. And we started to talk about music, and she was saying that she was trying to get involved, and I was saying I was trying to get involved, and I wanted to know at the time, because I didn't know much people, because I was originally from South. So I just came Port of Spain, kind of based myself in the North, and
So
not
now
much
you're
people,
currently living in Port of Spain.
not much people knew who I was. Everybody,
Yeah.
looking at this foreigner, and so they thought I was just this Yankee boy come down here trying to flex and whatever.
Yeah.
So I think in the earlies I wasn't embraced too well in the industry for a little while, because a lot of people didn't know who I was, and I just kind of like, I know I'm cool and I'm done with everybody.
Yeah.
but I just feel I didn't have to
judge
just.
the outside, they don't, you know.
I kind of just laughed at it a bit, you know, because I knew who I was, and
Of
for
course.
those who are around me who know who I was, know the real Rocky. So, whatever misconception people had, I just thought it was kind of funny.
In terms of your music playing on the air, listening to hearing your music on the air, do you
Right.
think, you know, soca artists get enough airplay on the radio stations?
It's improving, but I would say absolutely it needs more improvement. It is improvement. It is an improvement, I would say. And that's because I have this thing that I've said, if people could go back to interviews I've done in the past, because I've traveled so much around the world, I always say that soca music is the last piece of the puzzle for the music industry.
Right.
And I think finally, bit by bit, soca music is getting there. I think the only reason that it hasn't gone to where it needs to be is because we ourselves didn't buy into it as we needed to. And I'm talking about from a standpoint, not just artists in terms of our togetherness, because we preach that, but we're really not together, you know what I mean? Because it's dog eat dog. Right now, everybody here will be talking to each other, and as soon as that race comes in, that period where you have that after Christmas, where, you know, even Christmas has started to die a little bit because, you know, all the fete and promotions and carnival is in your mind as soon as band launch season come around. And all of a sudden you notice people started drift. Yeah, there are artists who line together, but I mean together in terms of the goal, the end goal. Because yes, you can, as we say, eat food here, but think about the kind of food you could eat internationally if we were supposed to come together. And I talk about corporate as well, because you have to be able to put a plan, in my opinion, because I saw people do it, because of my exposure, and set a goal and really get the music out there. But it is growing.
Yeah.
A lot of people are looking into Trinidad and Tobago now and our culture, and I hope to God, because I'm seeing other islands kind of taking it and doing what we used to do with things that we discarded. I saw Ronnie say that the other day, and it's a fact. Sometimes you don't want to talk about it. But anyway.
I know. Rocky, how do you think the labor movement could assist to protect artists still here in Trinidad?
That's interesting. I see that Mr. Duke and the organization fight for people's working rights. And at the end of the day, I believe that, especially for older Calypso like legends, it hurts my heart to see some of them living in poverty because maybe they didn't mismanagement, they didn't have proper people around them. But it's in my opinion, maybe a way that you could help with a sort of a pension fight through the government for those who really set the standard, or those who did a lot for this country and contributed. They should be able, in my opinion, to have some sort of a pension so that they could live with a respectable standard, not. And I don't want to call names, I don't remember some of the names, but I've seen some interviews with some artists who did so great for us, suffering and because of some sort of injury or something like that, and then they have to be coming on television literally pleading for help, you know what I mean, and that shouldn't be. Not for those type of people who contributed so much and we have to take a serious look at that and protect ours.
But do you see yourself in the future having another collab with Gaylan?
We tried actually a few years ago. After 17 years, I believe, we released a song called "Sweeter Than Sweet." 2010, I believe. Yeah, it didn't do well.
Right.
A couple things here and there, maybe production-wise, it just wasn't received. So I wouldn't say no. We are good friends. We keep in contact from time to time. When she has new music, she'll send it to me and say, hey, what you think about this? I will send some of my ideas to her. So we do talk, you know what I mean?
She'll send it to you, but we wouldn't hear it on the radio. Because you need to know someone in order to play the music.
Yeah, that's the difficult part. You could be all excited over a song, and it's up to the program director, and then if you get it past the program director, it's up to the DJs now that would actually decide to play it or not, because sometimes it's on the system But sometimes the DJs, for whatever reason, sometimes the youthful DJs these days don't respect the older heads.
Yep.
They think it's your time, you pass a game, and you have to come, in their opinion, really, really, really hard in order for them to play your music.
And they play a lot of hip hop music here, though. In fact, country,
a lot
you
of
know,
dancehall too. I'm not putting words in my mouth. I mean, we are not Jamaica, but in any way, I have love for all Caribbean islands. At the end of the day, but we are Trinidadians, and you're supposed to play local music more than 50%, in my opinion. And there's a lot of
New York and he has soca running down.
and there's a lot of local music that is really, really talking right now. Not just soca, I'm talking about in general. And I'm very, very pleased about that. And the quality that is coming out from somebody, this name just now you call that, I think his name is Prince Swanee or whatever.
Prince Swanee.
I keep thinking he's a Jamaican artist for some reason, you know what I mean? Because I don't know much about the youth man, but when I hear his music, I'm like, I think he's a foreigner, because I mean the quality is up
People
to
thought
par.
he was Jamaican. He's from originally
There are
from
quite a
Paradise.
few too, quite a few. I just don't remember everybody's names right now, but quite a few. Yeah.
Who was your most biggest influence in the music industry?
Mine? I will have to say, and this is honest as I can be.
Yes.
Now, obviously, Marshall is the king of soca. So before I got into the game, I actually used to go all these fets. You know, I know watching Marshall since he was Panasonic Express, and watching him how he delivered and executed on stage with all that energy. You will only obviously want to emulate that somehow or the other. But growing up, I went to parties like places like Soca Village and the Spectrum and PSA. And honestly, I just mentioned off air Anselm Douglas. He was one that I looked up to as well. Ronnie McIntosh, because the way Ronnie would stand backstage and you'll see the music, I mean not the music, sorry, that's smoke. And you hear Ronnie's voice, well yes, in the back, and the crowd gone. And I'm like, I want to do that. Meanwhile, I'm inside Lions Civic Center, standing up so and look on that stage and hearing Ronnie sing, and it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? He even touched the stage yet, that long French coat, hat, that kind of thing. Ghetto Flex as well, even though we became friends.
I love his music.
I always say this, I really didn't feel him in the beginning because I think I misunderstood him as well, because he had this air about him, you know what I mean? And me coming into the game in the late stage, and everybody kind of praising me for this new little song that I had that started to make waves.
Yeah.
People, I felt I had this defense mechanism up, so I wasn't, I stayed with my people, and then I feel out who, because I felt like if I was this foreigner coming into Trinidad and sort of misunderstood as well.
Right.
But we became friends, but he was one. I remember him in Second Image, Ghetto with the, I think, long jerry curls back then before he grew his dreads, and, and on the counter 4 and splitting in the air, and I'm like, whoa.
That
was
I love
energy.
this song with Denise Balfour. That
yeah. That is a
part 2 to it.
That's a classic.
You have one more artist to name for me.
All right. So I mentioned Marshall, of course, Ghetto, Anselm, and Ronnie. So that's about it there. Yeah. I mean, other people you will see them on stage and you will look at them and stuff like that, and you will probably take pieces. I think I have a piece of, when I do perform, you'll see a piece of somebody in there, but I crafted it into me. I have my own style as well to it. Yeah.
What is your biggest dream, and where do you see yourself in the near future?
In the near future, that's a good question. I'm one that I'm very ambitious, and I have this burning passion for, I'm very patriotic, so I'm hoping somehow one of these days, whether it be, because I spoke to CUT, some members of the CUT organization recently when I was registering my new song, and I told them, I said, I think they need to get more involved as well too. They're a copyright organization, but I think some new fresh ideas needs to come in, and for us to take control a little bit more of our culture. And because I have a background, I would say, in mass as well, I see where that is dying a slow death as well. I mean, we're talking about things like the Marsh Gras, there's a lot of things that is falling
not
apart.
about to
Even
ask you
Pan,
that,
I was
yeah.
a very strong supporter of Pan. I love my Pan. And he saw a lot of events evolve out of the fact that, you know, North Stand and a Carnival Sundays, well, not Carnival Sunday, sorry, but you know that, the Pilgrims.
Right.
That was a huge party. And then from there, you know, they went on to have the Greens, and then all of a sudden, bam, you know. I would say some greed slipped into place there from the heads. Not listening to some of the youths, because they, you know, that's a thing that we have a problem. I think the older heads have a problem connecting to the younger people and their ideas, because they're stuck in the ways.
Yeah.
And we see that happening, and before you know it, it fall apart, and you don't know how to bring it back. And I believe that you need that new, fresh blood. So I could see myself, because I'm not going to be jumping on stage, you know, I'm getting up there in age, and I always want to be part of something that could change, because I have a lot of ideas. And for people who know me in the past could tell you that everything that I'm involved with, I always execute it at a very high level. Events, I try to change the game in many instances, spend a lot of money doing that, even managing artists and stuff, because those are things that we didn't talk about, but I had 2 albums out.
Yeah.
I have so much I could talk about. I think we need a couple of days. It would be too much, because when I first started with the song "Look Me My," I actually invested in a record company called Bad Naras with Shell Shock and them, and I rest in peace to Shell Shock, because he's the first producer that gave me my break. You know what I mean? And unfortunately he died, but he became a friend. You know, so I have a lot to be thankful to where Shell Shock is concerned, because he launched my career. I know we didn't talk about the other song that is also a classic, which is...
We're actually going to take a break,
right.
and you're going to come back with that song. So we're going to take a short break and come back with this discussion here with Rocky here in studio.
To hold you so bad, see you in my dreams, reminiscing on that thing we had. Ooh, and girl, I want to hold you so tight, see you in forever. Let's start this thing together. So I want to give my heart to you. I want to live my life with you, baby. I want to give my all to you. If it's the last thing that I do, I wanna share my life with you. You looked into my eyes when I saw you. The way you keep yourself, I adore you. I wanna come across and say hi, them say angels in the sky. Realize that's not true. Black curly hair and cute face, smooth like a TV.
That was a beautiful song, I must say. Welcome back to TNT. That was a beautiful song.
Thank you.
What inspired you though to go reggae? This is reggae.
Yes, it is. Yes. Well, I'm a music artist at the end of the day,
Right.
so I'm capable of doing all genres of music, and actually my first song I recorded was a reggae song, but it was done in Malaysia in a fantastic studio with a guy from London. He was a producer at that time, so that was the first song I ever recorded. Heard my voice for the first time in a studio. It was fantastic. It was called Smooth. Actually, I tried to shop that song internationally, BMI Europe, tried to get a record deal and that kind of thing like that. But unfortunately, I wasn't totally prepared with all the information, so it didn't go through. But so I came to Trinidad, tried to release it. Some people had liked it at the time, and one of the bigger radio stations, I wouldn't call the name, and some of the other program directors didn't like it.
Nice.
So it's not this. So this is I recorded a few since then, but this one has taken off a bit. It's been received
So have you heard
well.
this song on the radio?
Of course, yes. It's doing well. It's doing well. I hope a lot of people out there. It's called You, so you guys could check it out on YouTube. Search Rocky 868, because that's my new name in a sense.
Right.
Because when I reintroduced myself, with YouTube and social media, identifying yourself as Rocky became a little bit
I mean, I said
tricky.
your whole government name now.
Yeah, so people are like, I'm looking for this on YouTube, and I got, because you type in Rocky and you'll get Sylvester Stallone.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So Rocky 868 identifies where I'm from very easily, and you could find this new song called You.
That's good.
Check it out on YouTube.
That's good. Rocky, so if you could just tell us what's next for Rocky.
What's next is more music. I am in writing mood at the moment. I have a lot of soca rhythms, because at the end of the day, soca is my core music. I can't wait to grace the stage again. I have a fire burning in me right now. People thought I was out of the game for a little while. It's not that. It's just that some songs that you put out didn't do well.
Yeah.
So some people are like, hey, when you're singing, and I kind of I got so tired of hearing, your friends and family and fans out there like, when you're singing again, when you sing, I'm like, all right, here's what. So far this very track, reintroduced me, because a lot of people see me and say, hey, I love that new reggae song that you have. In the video quality, big up to you guys were involved, Island Kids. I must say great thank you to the producers. I have to mention them if you don't mind.
Of course.
KS Beats out of Belize, and then Studio Musica, my boy Ramon, Island Kids who did the video, to you all and everybody out there in Trinidad and Tobago who've been requesting and sharing the song, wherever on social media. I want to say a great thank you. Because I think this song have a long way to go still.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful track. What inspired me to do it, actually, it wasn't a girl, because I do have a girlfriend, but it was about singing love. At the end of the day, because I think as artists we have a responsibility, because the way of the country been going, because I have some more songs with message, and it may be in reggae form, in a sense, because I find that we need, now you could zest, I ain't saying we all probably were zesters at some point in time, but at the end of the day, music do have an influence.
Yeah.
Sometimes people refuse to acknowledge that, but it does. So we could, as artists, have a responsibility, in my opinion, to have a balance. Because at the same time, we wanted people to jump, wave, whatever, but at the same time, for them to think as well about what they're doing. And we have a youthful generation that is influenced by social media in so many ways. They're brought up in social media. So we have to recognize that and understand that we have to bring forward balance. So I say, you know what? This first track I'm reintroducing myself with, I want to present some love. Whoever relates to you, all well and good. You know what I mean? But we need to have a balance, because things are very, very, very crazy right now.
I'm going to put you on the spot again. I'm definitely going to put you on the spot again. A favorite line out of you.
I want to give my all to you. I want to live my life with you, baby. I want to give my all to you. If it's the last thing that I do, I want to share my life with you. That's like my
That is
favorite
so
spot.
nice. That is really nice.
I can't forget my boy Dev, because he helped me write this song. Big up my boy Dev. I think
It's
we
a
should
really
have
nice song.
Dev on this show one time too, as
Yeah.
well. He's a friend from San Fernando.
Okay.
You know the song All I Wanna Do Is Jam? Yeah, that's Dev. Yeah.
That's
And he
really
have a
nice.
ton of songs as well too.
Yeah. So I know we have come to the end of today's
Yes.
program, and I want to thank you so
I feel like
much, Rocky.
I want to talk so much more.
I'm definitely going to bring you back when you're releasing your next track as well, and
course.
also with your costume line as well. So
Yeah.
we'll always have this platform open
All
for you.
right.
If there's
I'm-
anything you want to say to your audience and viewers out there this morning.
Just to people who are viewing right now, if you want to find me on social media, you can follow me on Instagram, which is rocky.868. On Facebook is rocky868 as well, on my fan page. And the new track, if you're feeling new, just love it, like it, share it. It's available on all streaming networks, so you can add it to your playlist. Yeah, and to all those who supported my career since day one. I want to say I love you from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah.
Continue to spread love, Trinidad and Tobago, because we need it. Continue to pray right now for the people in the Bahamas and whoever else is being affected by this devastating months of a hurricane, and we can't forget that because I feel for what I'm seeing on television right now. And as soon as the opportunity comes where the relief organizations, please get out there and do whatever, send whatever you can to help people, because you never know when something may happen to us and we
Exactly.
need the help. You know what I mean? So love, 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 and I want to say
so much.
thank you. It's
You're
been
welcome.
a pleasure.
You're welcome.
It's been a pleasure.
You're welcome. So we have come to the end of PSA TV here, the Iron Labor segment. I'm Lord Williams, and this is Rocky sitting behind me here. So stay tuned for tomorrow's program, same time. See you next time.
Let's start this thing together. So I want to give my heart to you. I want to live my life with you, baby. I want to give my all to you. If it's the last thing that I do, I wanna share my life with you. You looked into my eyes when I saw you. The way you keep yourself, I adore you. I wanna come across and say hi, them say angels in the sky. I realize that's not true. Black curly hair and cute face, smooth like a teeth, leave no trace. So I said hi, she said between you and I, did you bring sand to the beach? I said no way. So I wonder if I'm gonna hold you tonight, yeah. And I'm wondering if I'm gonna hold you tonight, yeah. I've gathered all the pieces of the puzzle. Oh baby, I've gathered all the pieces of the puzzle. Woo, 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 woo. I want to give my heart to you. I want to live my life with you, baby. I want to give my all to you.